Okay, YouTube, welcome back to the channel. My name is Mike, coming to you live from Potrero, Costa Rica. Today is Saturday, July the 11th, and I just want to talk about a show I actually saw on Netflix last night. So, Courtney is pet sitting this week, so I'm home alone, and I was just browsing through Netflix, and I found this new show. It's called Down to Earth with Zac Efron. And I guess the concept of the show, it's like a reality show where this guy, Zac Efron, he's an actor. I don't know if you know him. He's American. I think American. He travels around the world with this other guy who I guess is some sort of doctor. And they visit different places which just show like a different way of life or a different style of living than what's common in the US. So I thought it was pretty interesting, and I looked at the episodes, and the third episode was actually about Costa Rica. So I definitely was interested. I always like to watch the reality shows about Costa Rica just to see how they portray Costa Rica in the US. Like they have all those house hunter shows, and there was a show about a restaurant on Netflix in Costa Rica in Playas del Coco. So yeah, I checked out the show, and I watched it last night. It's about 30 some minutes, so it's pretty short, and it's like a kind of documentary style. But anyways, they start in the Central Valley, and they visit this guy who owns, or he owns like an organic farm type place, and there's also a school like near it or next to it or maybe on the same property. So they tour around this school, which is like a kind of alternative school where it's not set up into grades, and the kids just kind of learn more hands-on skills rather than like sitting in front of a blackboard all day. So it seemed like a cool school, and it was international school, so there was like a lot of expats going there. Yeah, and they tour around his garden and see his house and all the different fruit trees. He's in the Central Valley, so where they are, they're able to grow a lot more fruit trees than what grows here in Guanacaste. So it was cool to see, like he had cacao trees, like jackfruit trees with these huge jackfruits that were like 25, I don't know, 50 pounds. But that was pretty cool. And then, so when they were done there, they went to kind of like the Caribbean coast of Costa Rica, and they spent some time ziplining, which was kind of cool. I've actually haven't ziplined since I came here. Surprisingly enough, that's like one of the big tourist activities in Costa Rica is ziplining. So it's pretty popular, but I just never really was interested in doing it. So they go ziplining, and then they call it the Jaguar Rescue, but I didn't actually see any jaguars there. But it's like an animal rescue, and they had monkeys, they had this little like armadillo that was like a baby that was really cute. And that was cool to see. It was this expat woman from Europe who ran this place called Jaguar Rescue. And then, so they toured around there, and after that, they went on a boat off the Caribbean coast to this, it sounded like it was like a peninsula off the coast, that it was like a retreat center. And they also had like an organic garden, and it was the same guy who ran the first organic garden. I guess he owns more than one property here in Costa Rica. So they visited there, and they showed them like making a big breakfast, and they talked about the plant medicine that this one woman was growing and experimenting with there. And yeah, so that's how the episode ended. They're at this retreat center just hanging out, having a good time, kind of learning about a different way of life that exists here in Costa Rica. And I think it represented a pretty good like representation of what life is like here in Costa Rica for some people, though. Like these people were expats, they were all pretty well off, and had like nicer properties and had the means to grow all these fruit trees and do that. But that's not really typical for locals or ticos. So it showed kind of like what an expat life is here in Costa Rica. So yeah, that's my critique. It was cool to see all the shots around Costa Rica, and it really made me want to visit the Caribbean coast even more. Courtney and I have been wanting to go there for a while now, but it's just so far because we're on the far Pacific coast, and it's like a 6 or 7 hour drive all the way across the country to get to the Caribbean coast. And especially now with the pandemic, we just haven't had time to get over there. But it's a good show. I definitely recommend checking it out if you're interested in Costa Rica, want to see some cool footage about, you know, how it looks, what life is like down here. My only critique is that they only focus on expats. They don't focus on any native Costa Ricans. So it's a skewed perspective, like an Americanized perspective of what life is like down here. But anyways, that's my 2 cents. I suggest you check out the show. It's pretty entertaining. Make sure you like the video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Pura vida.